Ms. Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. In just 100 days, President Trump has managed to deport children with cancer, illegally detain U.S. citizens, and completely abandon due process in this country. It is outrageous to me that Republicans in Congress and in the Senate are tolerating the complete abdication and violation of due process as outlined in the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution. And let me just read that for a refresher if people need to be reminded. The Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution. Now let me remind everyone, the Fifth Amendment was passed at the same time the First Amendment was passed for freedom of religion, the freedom of the press. It was also passed at the same time the Second Amendment was passed for the right to bear arms. These amendments are the holy grail of talking points on the Republican Party. But where is the talking point for the fifth? Due process. The Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibits the federal government from depriving any, A-N-Y, any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. This means that the government must follow fair procedures before taking away a person's freedom or property. And what we have going on right now is a swoop and steal campaign by ICE to swoop into communities, snatch people by masked agents who won't even have the courage to identify themselves, haul people off the streets, thrown onto a plane, and flown away from their community, their family, and their right of access to a court hearing. That is the foundational tenet that this country is founded on. What is going on? Where is the soul of this Congress to not stand up and defend the rights of due process, a foundational tenet of the formation of this country? And silence. When a 2-year-old child is removed without parental consent, without a process, without anything in this country, it's outrageous. When you have the administration has terminated the contracts of all of the legal aid counselors, when you have a 6-year-old with headphones on at a hearing unaccompanied by any legal representative for their deportation, that is outrageous and should be a moral affront to everyone in this room, everyone in this building, and everyone in this government. And the fact that it is not is unconscionable in and of itself. And what we have here is a gross misuse of funds. I live in Texas. I've been to the border. So much of our border is geographically not possible to build a wall. And many of you may not know this, but it is a mockery of what's happening at the wall. Do you know there's an app by rock climber people that joke about how they can get over this wall in 6 seconds or less? But yet we want to quadruple our budget to it, $46 billion. That is such a wasteful use of resources at a time when we are focused on waste, fraud, and abuse. That $46 billion could pay for the funding of cybersecurity education, a bill we had in this committee not too long ago. That $46 billion could give much-needed pay increases to Border Patrol. It could fund timely processing so that people could come into this country, get a hearing, and not be released without an opportunity to have a hearing for 6 years. But we're not doing that. We're just ignoring the rule of law, and we're throwing money out of a pet project for a president who campaigned that another country was going to pay for it, and it was complete BS. It's time for responsibility to act and to prevail in this room, in this building, and in this Congress, because this is outrageous, this complete annihilation of due process. Thank you, and I yield back.
Gentlelady.